Hey, it's Andrea, and today is Monday, August 27th, 2018. I'm getting ready to take my boarder to work. He's having a little bit of car trouble, so I said I'd give him a ride. And then, moving wires about. Moving them about, I am. I'm sorry. I hope I don't offend British people when I do that. It's just... My go-to accent is British, like when I say things, when I say silly things. Not because British people are silly, but because I'm being silly. And then the longer I try to speak in an accent, it starts turning into an Indian accent, so... yeah. I don't mean any offense, I just think I'm being silly. Because of me. Because of me. Anyway... yeah, I have to call, I missed my doctor's appointment last Monday. I'm not good at Monday appointments, and this one doctor, he only has, the place that I go to him, he only has office hours on Monday, so I have to call him and make a new appointment. I tried a little bit ago, but it said there's 6 people. There are 6 people ahead of you, and I didn't feel like staying on the line, so do that when I get back. Hey, so I just dropped him off and I'm about to fuel up at the Wawa here. Pulling in, get some fuel in my beautiful vehicle. I call her Ali. I don't know if I said that before, but as in nautical terms. So look it up if you don't know. It's A-L-E-E. Look it up. I sound like my mom. Whenever I'd ask my mom something when we were growing up, she'd say, look it up. So I'd have to get out the dictionary or the encyclopedia. Yes, that's how old I am. And look stuff up. It wasn't until I became an adult that I realized that she didn't know the answer. I thought she was trying to teach me to look things up on my own. Alright, get out of here. Oh, I have to pop the button and then, oops, I popped the wrong one. I popped my trunk. Okay, let me close the trunk first. Yeah. There's my whatever. I can't think of words right now. And, ooh, I'm at lucky pump number 10. You see this bug right here? That is the spotted lanternfly, which is haunting us in Pennsylvania right now. It's invaded from Asia. See if I can get it to fly away. Oh, he won't fly away. Well, they got red underneath of him. So, anyway, I'm gonna get my fuel. So there's that. I'm getting the unleaded 87 at $3.029. And I think I got 13-gallon tank. So when I get back in my car, I reset the trip because I can tell how much gas I'm gonna have. I can tell Alright, I get to, never mind, words. And look, I'm at 160,712 miles on this engine, so pretty good. Put my wallet away in my purse. Comes a car, do 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 do. Here comes a car. car and I say, it's alright, just don't hit me. Just don't hit me. Okay, here we go. So I was thinking today, I think every day, I guess most people do. I'm just going to assume that most people do. And I was thinking about how, I don't know about anybody else, but I have like this constant dialogue going on in my head. And sometimes I need to take a break from it. You know, like I try to meditate or I try to distract myself with other things. But the dialogue can be anything from like someone narrating the stuff that I'm doing to me daydreaming about something else to someone in my head telling me I'm doing stuff wrong. You know, you're doing it wrong. You suck. Why do you do things this way? You know, on the plus side, sometimes that voice in my head is helping me with creative processes. So, like, what if this? What if that? Or I'm creating some story in my head about things around me. It's like a little game I like to do. But lately, I just feel like I've been overthinking, so I'm trying to make myself not think. Because, do you ever do that? Like, where your brain just goes to bad places? It's like, you can't do this, and you can't do that, and you used to be able to do this, and what good are you? You can't help out with whatever. I can't drive long distances by myself. I can't. Look, I'm not going to go through the list. There's a lot of I can'ts. But I'm supposed to think about stuff I can do. It's hard not to compare yourself to other people. Even when they say don't compare yourself to other people, well, if you compare yourself to yourself, and you compare yourself to stuff you used to be able to do, sometimes that's not uplifting either. Then I have to say, well, I can still walk around a little bit, you know, I can still read, I can still enjoy TV shows, I can still eat. Having been a nursing assistant in the past, I do understand that those are things that not everybody can do. So, and there may come a time when I won't be able to walk, so I'm trying to look on the bright side. Look on the bright side of life. Ba-doom, 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 ba-doom. Always look on the bright side of life. Anyway, that's from Monty Python. Yeah, so I was looking at comedies to watch, and I thought, well, maybe I'll rewatch, because somebody suggested Keeping Up Appearances, which I've watched before, and I watched it on Netflix. And I just was looking for it just now, and I couldn't find it. I couldn't find it on Netflix, and I couldn't find it on Hulu. I guess the only other place for me to look is on Amazon Prime. But they don't have a lot of British shows on Amazon Prime because they want you to buy... They have a BritBox add-on. And the thing is that it's not my Amazon Prime, it's my son's. So... it's like weird in our house. It's like... Because you know you can have like a couple different people on the... Well, my son lives in my house for one thing. So I use his Amazon Prime. He uses our Netflix. I use my other son's Hulu. Yeah. So... And then we still have cable TV. And then what's the deal with these channels? What's the deal with these regular channels trying to have streaming services too? Oh, it's exhausting. They're starting to have channels like, is it CBS is one of them, and I can't think of the other one that keeps coming up, where they're having some shows that are only on their... Yeah, one of them has a Star Trek show that's only on their streaming service. You have to buy their streaming service. Oh, it's like... It kind of reminds me of when cable first started getting popular, and at first the extra cable channels, like there weren't commercials at first, what I mean, like the kind of stuff like TBS and stuff like that. I don't mean like the movie channels. Well, the movie channels you pay for separately. And then they started having commercials that were just local commercials. And then they started having regular commercials on top of that. I mean, I guess it has to deal with however they're getting paid. I don't know. Do you remember the days when you just had like 4 channels and they came through the air and hit your antenna and went down into your TV set, and you had to fine tune the channel? Maybe none of you guys remember that. You're like telling your husband, stand over there with, well, you're not your husband, it would be my family. Tell your sister, stand over there with the hanger in your hand. Touching the TV. Okay, I can see it now. That's for the UHF or I don't know. Look, they had different, probably Colin knows more about this stuff than I do. It has to do with the frequency that this stuff comes in on. Not that those were better days, but you knew when your day was over. Okay, you knew when your day was over because the national anthem would come on in the United States, and then you'd get a zzz kind of weird sound, and there'd be like that color pattern, and that was it from like either midnight or 1 a.m. to like 5 or 6 in the morning. Okay, you gotta go to bed. Gotta sleep sometime. Can't be staring at a screen constantly. No, I'm not one of those people that thinks the past was the best time. I like to think that there's better times up ahead. I mean, we have better health now. It's hard to tell because people can live longer with different diseases that used to kill them. Like even 50 years ago. Some of them even like 20 years ago. Like AIDS. You can live with AIDS for a really long time now. It used to be like a death sentence. So, but it seems like you're not having as good health because people are living with these diseases and ailments that used to kill people, but they're taking medicines that keep them alive longer, and sometimes it's not the best quality of life, you know. I don't know. I don't want to get philosophical. Let's not get philosophical. Let's get out of our heads. Sometimes I wish I could do, I used to think I was really pretty funny, and I thought maybe someday I'll do a channel on YouTube that's like just comedy, just goofy stuff. But I don't know. Every time I write stuff, it doesn't come out as comedy. Like I've written a lot of short stories, and I started writing 2 books, and most of the stories are sci-fi. They end up being sci-fi or horror. I don't start out with them being that, but that's what comes out. And then the book that I've been trying to write, but I recently kind of put it on hold, is mystery. And the problem with a mystery is that you have to know everything before you start writing it, because you're like, who did this and why, and when did they do it, and in what order? And with my brain working and or not working the way that it does, even with all the notes that I have, it gets confusing. I still want to write it though, like, because I have the story in my head, but sometimes it gets confused and jumbled around. It's weird when you like to write stories. I don't know how to explain it. It's like you get stories in your head and you want to put them down somewhere. If I just told the story I'm very visual. That's why I'm better at reading stuff than listening to audio. So it's better for me to write stuff down than to just say it. Like if I set it into a recorder, then I'd have to go back and listen to it and rewrite it and write it. Well, I don't know. That might work because then there's still writing. Anyway, I'm home. I'm going to go in. Catch you in a bit. Getting ready to cook some easy jambalaya with turkey sausage. That's me. I'm the cook. And been listening to some Peter vlogs. He's in Las Vegas right now on his honeymoon, or not his honeymoon, his 7th anniversary, so he's been having fun, talking about his fun times. Jambalaya. It doesn't look as good as the one we usually get. We usually get Xanarines, but it's from Aldi, and I put turkey sausage in it, so. Yeah. Hey, I'm back. It's about 9:30 p.m. at night, Eastern Standard Time? Or is it daylight time? Listen, I don't know, it's Eastern Time. So Bob and I watched an episode of Supernatural, and I'm about to make a video for my craft channel showing the pocket letter I made. So here it is, it's finally done. I don't know if you can see it real well. I don't have a setup for showing overhead, so anyway, I'm going to make a video about it, and then I probably won't put that up till next week because I want to send it in the mail to the person I made it for. I don't want her to see it before she gets it, so I think that's it for today. I hope you're having a good day, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.